Why chosen ones struggle in relationships, man? I'm back out here, man, with another video, man. I haven't done one of these outside in a while, but let's get to it, man. The reason why chosen ones struggle in relationships is because a lot of people, they're not on the same godhood frequency as you. It's right. They just can't match that alignment. And also, too, when you are chosen, it's just so different, man, about like how you move. And you always in that state of a constant evolution, right? You're not trying to be in a state of stagnation, right? And a lot of people, they don't want to move up to that next level, right? And you got to understand, man, that every next level that you level up, it's going to be always somebody there, that demon or that low vibrational spirit trying to hold you back or trying to keep you on that same level to the point where you won't level up again. It's sad, man, but it's just the truth. When you are chosen, you got to understand, man, that it's going to be a lot of people that just not going to be able to resonate with you, right? And it's just the way you think. It's hard to find like-minded people, right? This is why you struggle in relationships, right? You struggle in relationships because a lot of people, like where God's taking you, the people that you end up meeting, they can't go. They just can't go, guys. And that's just the truth. And they're not fit for it, right? You got to be fit for it. You got to be ready. Faith without works is there. You got to be ready to put in the work. A lot of people, they're not ready to put in those type of work, man. They're not ready to change. This is why a lot of chosen ones, we struggle in relationships, man. Because a lot of people, they're not ready to change. We constant in the psychological state of evolution. We ready to change. We ready to grow. We ready to elevate, right? We ready to, we love being out of our comfort zone. We love feeling uncomfortable. Because we know for a fact that uncomfortability is going to bring us into a new breakthrough. We know that, man, as chosen ones. This is why we struggle in relationships, man. And also, too, our significant other is like, they a lot of times they want us to baby them, right? They don't want to hold themselves accountable. So we have to let them go. We can't allow them to, we're not gonna allow them to drain us. Like, because we had that discerning spirit to detect succubus, incubus, Jezebels, narcissistic personalities, marine spirits. We just had that type of spirit and we know our worth, right? We're a royal priesthood, we're a holy nation, right? We just know for a fact that we're not gonna allow people to just be a leech, right? Excuse me, to latch on to our spiritual blessings, to be a distraction to our spiritual gifts, right? This is why we struggle in relationships, man. It's just the truth. A lot of people, they cannot resonate with us, right? A lot of people, they love being comfortable in life. A lot of people, they okay right where they at. But us chosen ones, nah, we gotta always elevate. God he always exalting us to a higher calling, to higher heights, right? Because we know that we more than a conqueror. We know for a fact that, we have strong faith, right? We walk by faith and not by sight. Our spiritual journey is very, very interesting, right? Our spiritual journey is very, very strange sometimes, right? Our spiritual journey is just, we always moving around. That's just like Christ. Christ is always moving around, going around different places, man. We always moving around because we know for a fact that we're persecuted in one state and one city, we're going to have to flee to the next, right? And the enemy going to be in his own household, right? We're acclimated to just people being in your household that's at a low vibration, that don't want to change, that don't want to grow, right? I got some people in my household that don't really want to change, that don't want to grow, that have excuses. People making excuses. You're not about that. It's hard for you to resonate with that energy. It's hard for you to be around that type of energy. Like, yeah, I love my family, but at the same time, like, I'm just not, I'm not fit for I'm not mentally, I'm not where they at. mentally. I'm just not there. I'm on this elevation path, bro. Like, I'm really ready to grow, you know? And I'm proving it through my actions. You know what I'm saying? That I'm all about growth. You know, I got a regular 9-to-5 job, and then I do my purpose, right? I pursue my purpose. But this is why us chosen ones, we struggle in relationships. So don't feel bad, right? Don't feel like, you know, sometimes it could be you, but a lot of times it's not. A lot of times it's other people. It's not us chosen ones. It's other people that we end up being in a relationship with that just, they don't have no connection with God. They just, they full of excuses, right? They don't want to hold themselves accountable, and we don't have time for that type of energy. Like, when you chosen, bro, like, you know your worth. Like, certain type of energy, you don't just have time for it. Like, you like, bro, like, I'm not using excuses. Why they using excuses? It's like, bro, I can't hang around that type of energy. Like, this is why, like, we struggle in relationships so much. And also, too, a lot of people, they in the world and of the world, right? They of this world. They really of this world, man. They feel like they got to party every single weekend. They feel like they got to be around a ton of people. Us chosen ones, we not like that, right? You know what I'm saying? We are different. We in the world, but not of the world. You know, we in this world as a physical body and a physical vessel, but psychologically, we are not of the world. We got a spiritual mindset. We don't have a carnal mindset, right? A lot of times our significant others be a very, very big distraction, right? It's like, you know, they vibration, it just is off, right? You know, or they try to pretend like they on the same vibration as us, and then we realize, like, man, that person, they was a monitoring spirit. That person was a scout, just trying to figure out what I'm doing, right? Or they were just trying to use me, right? Because, you know, this is why we struggle in relationships, man. You know, not just in a relationship with a partner, like friendships, family relationships, we struggle. Like, a lot of our family, they don't like us because we hold them accountable. Like, you know, it's just the truth. We don't care who it is. We tell our own parents. We tell our own friends, family, you know, bruh, you gotta stop making excuses. We don't care. We don't care. We keep it all the way 1,000. We don't care about what people don't like the truth. So what? You know, the truth, you know, should set you free. The truth will set you free. But first, it's gonna hurt you first. But it'll set you free. A lot of people, they don't want to be set free, man. This is why us chosen ones, we struggle in relationships a lot of times. You know, a lot of people, their Fibonacci sequence don't match up with the planet. You know, our Fibonacci sequence, it matches up with the planet, right? We in alignment, man. We doing what we supposed to be doing, right? We eating more healthier, right? You know, we're not using excuses, you know. But this is why we struggle in relationships, and also too, friendships too. Even relationships with our family. Our family trying to use us, right? Because they know that we are different. They know that's something, man. I can tell they're gonna be very, very successful. Even your own family members start hating on you, bro. It's sad, but it's just the truth. This is what happens when you are chosen, man. You know, this is why you must try the spirit by the spirit, just see if it's of God. Now, you know, some of our families, they're not of God, or they're not as strong in the faith as we thought they were when we were kids. But now, since we've grown older as a chosen one, and we became, you know, adults, and in our discernment, and got 1,000 times better. Now we see, like, bro, they not really that strong in the faith like they try to appear to be, right? Wolf in sheep clothing. You know, so a lot of people out here, they're wolf in sheep clothing. You know, they're not really that strong in the faith like that. A lot of people, they religious, right? They got a form of godliness. There's a lot of people out there, they got a form of godliness. Man, they believe that there is a God, but the Godhood frequency, you know, the Godhood consciousness, you could tell it's not really in them. You know, you can tell a lot of people, their heart is far away from God, right? They just have a form of godliness. They just believe in God, but their heart is far away from God. Their actions is far away from God. Like, telling you, man, it's deep. It gets this deep, y'all. Man, I'm so glad I'm back outside, man. I feel good. But yeah, man, been out here in nature. My mind really opened up out here. You know what I'm saying? I just be, God, the spirit of God just be flowing, right? The Christ consciousness just be flowing. Scriptures just come up in my head out of nowhere. But guys, man, this is why we struggle in relationships, man. And it's okay because we're not struggling. The reason why a lot of times, guys, I'm gonna say the main reason why we struggle in relationships. A lot of times, guys, we struggle in these earthly relationships because our heavenly relationship with God is much stronger, man. We rather have that than we rather have an earthly carnal relationship. That's why we struggle in earthly relationships, because our heavenly relationship with God, we're not going to neglect that for a carnal, worldly, earthly relationship, man. This is why we struggle. I'm telling y'all, man. God just be telling you, man. God just be speaking to me in so many different ways, right? It all works as energy, man. It's crazy how God just speak to me, man. Especially when I get out here in nature, I gotta start coming back out here some more, man. I don't know what I've been doing, been in the house a lot. I gotta get back outside, man. But yeah, man. But this is what happens. A lot of times, guys, the people that we get in a relationship with, they want us to give them our all instead of give God our all. We're not gonna neglect that, right? We're not gonna sacrifice an earthly relationship and detach from our spiritual relationship with the Most High, with God. No, we're not gonna do that. Us when we're not doing that. Nobody can get us to do that. That's why we struggle, man. Man, and it really be bad spirits working through people, right? It be bad spirits working through people. Everything that's crazy about us, when they're not, they're against us. But if God be for us, then who could be against us, man? Come on, man. If God be for us, then who could be against us? Bruh, it's just, oh my God, man. God's presence. When I'm out here in nature, man, my bad, y'all. I just be feeling God's presence, man. When I'm out here in nature. I'm telling you. But it's just the truth, man. But so don't ever feel bad. Keep your relationship with God. Stay steadfast and unmovable. You know what I'm saying? With your relationship with God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, like I said, they're not on that frequency. So they don't understand. The natural man don't understand the spiritual things, that come from God. The natural man don't understand the spiritual connection, that spiritual people that have, that's connected to God. They don't understand that relationship. It's a lot of distractions in this world, man. And they're constantly trying to tear us down. But God, he builds us up. You know what I'm saying? God said he'll build us up when we're torn down. But yeah, guys, it gets that deep. But you got to keep the faith, man. You cannot allow people to deteriorate your relationship with God. Because people, they going to try. They going to try, man. Especially when it comes out like to your friends. Oh, man. Some of y'all, you got to be careful, man. Your friends can influence you in so many different ways. You got to be careful. You pretty much, you are who you pretty much hang around a lot. I'm gonna say to a certain extent, as far as friend wise, because y'all like minded, right? You feel like you got a connection with that person, right? Spirits know spirits, so you got to understand that, man. But you got to watch out with those friends. When you leveling up and your friends trying to distract you and stuff like that, because they feel like, man, he might leave us. It's the same way at the job, y'all. Bro, it's the same way at the job. Like, bro, it be females at my job be telling other females, you should do this. You shouldn't go to that job, or you shouldn't leave, right? They be trying to convince other females they shouldn't leave and all that type of stuff. Bruh, because they don't want to level up themselves, right? Because they don't have the courage, because they had a low vibration and they don't have the courage to leave and do better. But it's going to be always people that don't want to see you do better than them. And a lot of times it be your friends. It be your coworkers, right? Don't listen to them, man. You know, you got to watch, especially people at your job. You got to watch out with them people at your job, man. A lot of them monitoring spirits, right? A lot of them monitoring spirits. Especially if you got a purpose that's outside the job. Trust me. You know, yeah, I'm walking backwards. Especially if you got a purpose that's outside the job. I'm trying to tell you, man. A lot of people, they don't want to see your purpose take off, right? They hoping and they doubting in their head, hoping and praying, hoping never take off. I just hope it never take off, man, right? Because I want him to stay here with us, right? Because if it does take off, then he's gonna be doing better than us. Now, low key, a lot of people at your job be hating on you, especially if you got a purpose outside of your job. See, this is my purpose outside of my job, but I'm not gonna allow my job to deteriorate or distract me from my purpose. No, man, no. You gotta keep going, man. Delayed gratification. This is what happens when you go through when you want senior retention. Delayed gratification. You get comfortable with it, right? You're not looking for something fast. But yeah, y'all. But when it comes down to these relationships, guys, you gotta be very, very mindful. You know, a lot of people they fake. A lot of people, they don't want to build no relationship with you, man. A lot of people, they just want to build a relationship to where they're using you, where they can benefit off of you. And if they can't benefit off of you, then they don't want no relationship with you. They don't want to talk to you. It's fake. A lot of people are fake, man. I'm trying to tell you. A lot of people, they're not real. They're not genuine. So, man, you got to stay on your purpose, man, and build your relationship with God, you know. You know, the reason why the earthly relationships, a lot of them don't work out, because we're in the world, but we're not of this world, y'all. We're not of it. We're not of what's going on in this world, man. How people acting in this world. They're not acting God-like. They're not. Right? You got to understand, man. It all works in symbiotic connection, man. So you got to be very, very mindful of who you hanging around. Right? I'm trying to tell you. But like I said, man, this is why I chose to struggle, you know, in relationships, man. I hope y'all got some about this. I hope it helped you out. Hope that it encouraged you in some sort of way. I hope it brought some, you know, brought edification and knowledge and wisdom to your life from this video, man. Man, I had fun, you know, out here. And I'm about to jump back out here again. You know, I used to come out here. I just stopped. You know, I stopped. I don't know why I stopped, but this is Comanero Starks, y'all. Follow me on all my social medias. I'm out, y'all.